Welcome to class. We are working on PSL number 3 this week, and today is day 2. It's Tuesday, January 26th. The question today is an iStep problem that you might encounter on your constructive response for iStep, or if you were to do another constructive response for Acuity. So this is a word problem, and it's going to definitely take us more than one step to get to the answer. In fact, there's going to be like points given along the way for each little part of the question. So the first thing that I want you guys to do when you get a question like this is to read through it and then start to sort through the information that they're giving you. So this question says, Kathy's internet company charges a connection fee of 21 cents for each call that she makes from her computer. The company also charges 6 cents per minute for each call made from her computer. So each call is being charged 21 cents plus the 6 cents per minute. And then it gives us that Kathy was charged a total of $1.95 for 5 calls in January. So she made 5 calls in the month of January, and her bill was $1.95. So they go on to tell us that they want us to write an equation that can be used to determine the number of minutes Kathy talked on 5 phone calls in January. Then also be sure to define the variable in your equation. So we're going to use a letter, which is a variable, and we're going to tell what that variable means. So the first thing that I want to do is just kind of get an idea of the info that they're telling us. So they're first telling us that each phone call is 21 cents. And then they're also telling us that they're charging 6 cents per minute. So when I see the per minute, I can tell that I'm probably going to have a variable there. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify this. So I've just put my variable in, and you can see I've used the letter M. And the reason I use the letter M is because my variable is going to mean the number of minutes per phone call. So number of minutes per phone call. So I'm not quite finished because they had gave us some more info. They tell us that Kathy was charged $1.95 for 5 calls. So if she made 5 calls, this is right here representing just one call, but we know that she made 5 of them. So the way that we're going to represent that is like this. And then the last piece of info is that all of this equals $1.95. So there's our equation, and we can go ahead and plug that in down at the bottom. Okay, so now that we've got our equation, we can continue on. So next they're just asking us to find out how many total minutes did Kathy talk on the 5 phone calls in January. So remember that M is representing the number of minutes talked in just one phone call, but they want to know the number of minutes talked in 5 phone calls. So let's not forget that part. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do to solve this equation is to do the distributive property here on the left side. I see that I've got 5, and it's being distributed to both 0.21 and 0.06. When you multiply 5 times 21 cents, you get $1.05. And when we multiply 5 times 6 cents, we get 30 cents times M. So now we've got $1.05 plus 30 cents times M equals $1.95. So we want to solve for our variable, which is located right here. So we want to get rid of this term here on the left. So to move that to the other side, we're going to subtract $1.05, which will cancel this out and leave us with just 3/10 M on this side. And when we subtract $1.05 from $1.95, we're going to get 90 cents. So now M is being multiplied by 3/10. So to get rid of that, we're going to divide by 0.3. Divide by 0.3, which leaves us with M, and 0.9 divided by 0.3 is going to be 0.3. I mean just 3. So we see that M equals 3, but I want you to come back to what M means. So M means the number of minutes per phone call. So if we spent 3 minutes per phone call and we had a total of 5 phone calls, to find the total number of minutes, we would need to multiply RM times 5. So the complete answer is going to be 5 times 3, which is 15 minutes. So this answer is 15. And we're going to pick up from here tomorrow, and we'll continue the rest of this question. But just know that when you are doing constructive response or you are taking iStep, that this is what they expect you to show on your paper when you're showing them how you get the answer 15. And make sure that anything you're thinking in your mind gets put down onto your paper, because you can never really have too much on there, but you can always, it's always usually the case that you don't have enough. You might be thinking it in your brain, but don't assume that you're going to get credit for it if it's not written on your paper, and that's just the way that it is when they go to grade this stuff. So we're going to keep practicing this until the time comes, and you guys are going to do great. So we will finish up tomorrow.